Between January 2018 and July 2018, the Clark County School District received more than 2,600 tips through the Say No to Bullying website. These anonymous tips included everything: reports of bullying, planned school attacks, or tips about student self-harm. Now, that reporting system has now been replaced by something called Safe Voice, and every school district in Nevada is required to use it. Recently, students at Becker Middle School learned more about how Safe Voice works. Safe Voice is a partnership between the Nevada Department of Education, Nevada Department of Public Safety, CCSD Police, and the district. Anonymous tips can be reported 24/7, 365 days a year through the Safe Voice phone number, the Safe Voice app, or online. The Department of Public Safety is the first responder on all tips. According to the district, Safe Voice helped prevent a potentially violent situation from occurring prior to the first day of school.
A principal was at a weekend event with his family. Parent approached and said, "Oh my goodness, my daughter just uncovered this picture on Instagram." Showed the principal the picture. It was a very concerning picture of another student with a weapon. The principal was able to alert the parent how to immediately put in a Safe Voice tip. Police were dispatched and the situation was resolved on a Saturday while everybody is at a Little League practice or game.
Here's how to get in touch through Safe Voice. You can go to the mobile app, just search on Safe Voice. The phone number is 833-216-7233, or you can go to the website safevoicenv.org. Now, here is an important point. Tips are anonymous, but if you don't provide enough information to begin an investigation, it is possible the tip may not be as useful. Additionally, tipsters can upload photos or videos that authorities may find useful. Due to the number of shootings that have occurred on school campuses around the country and to prevent any kind of violent act in our state, Governor Sandoval established the creation of a statewide school safety task force. There is one student representative on the task force, and we're happy to have her with us today. Ashley Macias is a senior at Mojave High School. Welcome. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Before we get to the task force, let's talk about the story we just had about Safe Voice. I'm curious, from your perspective as a student, do you see a need for this kind of thing?
Yes, very much. Like, the students don't necessarily have the output to be able to talk to people and be able to give these opinions. Safe Voice isn't just about bullying, reporting it, or about reporting just threats or anything you see. It's about reporting anything you see on campus, anything you might hear, anything that could happen, and just being that preventative. I think you always need that preventative step basically in the school so that nothing ever does happen and occur in schools. Fortunately, a lot of bad tragedies happening around the country could have probably been prevented if maybe there would have been a place for students to give their opinions, give their perspective, be able to voice their actions, actually understand, and be able to talk to an adult and understand that they're able to give this opinion.
Right. Do you think it would be as successful if it were not anonymous?
I don't think so at all.
No.
Students, I think, need that anonymity because they necessarily don't want to be like the snitch of the school, being that they're being called out, that they're the ones basically reporting everything, because then they kind of lose that trust within students within ourselves, in our own groups. You don't want to be known as the one that's pointing out things, and yeah.
Yeah, it kind of removes that. You can just give a tip and,
right.
and take it from there. Okay, so let's talk about the task force a little bit. So the statewide school safety task force, how the heck are you the only student that had to get on this task force?
So I got on the State Board of Education first, and I applied through that. That was a very rigorous application process to get on that. And
be involved.
Right, to even just be involved I had to go through everything, and then the task force, they just kind of threw me on when it was a brand new idea and they need a student. So we're like, hey, let's just take the State Board one and just add it on to there. We've been trying to get other students as well to give their opinions. So the first meeting we invited a bunch of students out from Carson. They came out, about 10 students, took the day out of their school time and everything to come out. They gave their opinions, and then there was another one down in Vegas as well that came.
What is the mission of this task force?
I believe the mission is just to finally talk about the things that we necessarily need in Nevada, especially with a lot of the country's incidents now recently. A lot of people aren't talking about it. They've kind of just been talking about rumors, but I think sitting down, actually talking about what Nevada is going through, what we need necessarily, and what we can improve on and change is what we need, and we honestly need those conversations to set forth, put action, making the legislation, making the bills, sending that off to the governor and saying, hey, this is exactly what we need to do for our students.
And this is all based on preventing
Yeah,
violence, right?
Yes.
Okay. And this, we were talking just a second ago, Nevada is kind of ahead of other states. I was
Right.
asking you about that. Tell me about that.
Yeah, I believe Nevada is one of like the only states that actually has a school safety committee. So I know there's not a lot of other states that are doing that. Other states kind of reached out and been like, that's really great idea. They kind of want to incorporate that into their own states. And it's more of like just like the discussion of actually having it and being not like a taboo item anymore and just like the news.
Right. Now, as I understand it, the task force was going to be together for I don't even think a year.
No.
Come together, talk about, there are about 30 people.
About 30
people
people or
on the
so,
task
yeah.
force. But that may not be the case. It may not end in
December. It was supposed to end in December. December 31st was supposedly the date it was supposed to end. But I believe in our initial report, we wanted to at least make it another committee all year round, basically, and to continue having these talks because we're always changing Nevada. It's always just changing what schools need, what safety, and like everything that the kids need.
Right. And one of the points you made is that it's different. The kind of things that would prevent something like that here at CCSD,
Right.
it's different in other parts of the state.
Yes.
Talk to me about that.
Well,
I mean, the threats are even different, right?
Even the threats are different because here in Vegas, we're thinking about more of like necessarily people because we're heavily populated, but maybe out in Elko, they might have like an animal that comes running out and you might just need to report. It's all different. It's very different climate, atmosphere, like geographically, it's all very different. So since we're heavily a populated city down here in Vegas, we have our own law enforcement. We have our own CCSD police here in Clark County. Up in Washoe, they don't have their own
Not every school has a
they don't have
police
their own
department.
police department. So others have to basically share the police department within the whole city and the whole town of it.
Okay. This is, you said this is the first time you've ever been chosen to be on the
Yeah.
task force, and I think you're a senior.
Yes, senior at Mojave.
And now you're kind of seeing how some of these kind of public issues
Yeah.
change. I don't know, maybe, is this of interest? Maybe you'll get into some other task force in the future or get into decision making?
Possibly. I'm actually on like my student council at school, National Honor Society, so I'm very like vocal with my opinions at least, and I'm trying to always like stick up for kids, trying to understand. I've always just been very curious and understanding how everything works, why this is how it is, always just questioning it. So possibly it could be in the future.
Yeah, who knows? And now you're standing up for students around the state.
Yeah.
Not just at your school or in
Right.
the district. Hey, Ashley, continued success. We appreciate your time today.
Thank you.